Well, welcome to Escape with Nick and Kitka.
No, that was
Oh,
Turbo.
my bad.
Yep, that was the one found in the engine.
Oh, you still have that cat?
Yeah.
Nice. So, well,
Yeah.
Adam, we have a special edition show today, and it's a special edition of. Wait, there it is. Nope, there it is. It's a special Saturday edition of Cowabunga. It is. Oh, wait, another one? Love that music.
Fancy.
we're so fancy. We're just gonna play clips here. That's what we're gonna do. That's all we got. So.
Oh, no. We have something special today.
Oh, okay. So it came. It finally came. It's here.
Whew, look at that big NECA tape across it.
I was so I came home from jiu-jitsu and I was like, oh, I wonder if it's here. And it sure is. And like I said, it's got NECA tape on it. So any porch pirate who knew like what they had, they're like, hey, NECA, can you tone it down a little bit next?
I know, right? NECA in this box.
Yeah. In case he was wondering, it's a very expensive toy. So
a collector just happens to be driving by. It was on his curb. He was throwing it away. Maybe.
Well, like my work has like a warehouse. We have not a warehouse, but it's a storage unit. And a bunch of people in and out all day. And some guy walked by like with a bag, and I could see kind of through a clear bag. I was like, those are toys. And I was like, what do you got over there? Huh? So, but
nice.
All right. Are we ready? Are we ready to do this?
I am dying to see this. So I'm ready.
Do you remember? I don't remember when this went up for pre-order.
Over a year ago.
I said it's been about a year and a half because it was supposed to be out during like late summer, and they keep getting go. Well, and then they took it back, and then they delayed it again because they actually made changes that the fans asked for. So
that's pretty damn cool.
NECA, company of the people. Well done.
Well, this is it, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to see the Turtle Van, the party wagon.
And it's always fun. Like, you know how it is like when there's movies that get made, and sometimes there's like 3 different movies that are like the same thing. The same thing happened here because you had NECA doing the Turtle Van. Was it Super 7?
Yeah, Super 7 did one.
And then was it Underground Assault, Under something Assault was the other one.
I'm not sure about the other one off the top of my head, but the other 2 for sure.
Yeah, because I know, well, Super 7 stuff is always super expensive, and I think theirs was closer to like 500 or something. And then I think I forget. I apologize. I forget the other name, but I know it was similar to the price of NECA's, but it was kind of it's an unknown, company. So it was like, well, I'm going to go with the one that I know. So, and the one that's not outlandishly expensive.
And that being said, you can't go wrong with NECA because they're killing it with Ninja Turtles. They're
killing it with turtles and
also with everything.
Well, I would say if you pick up, anybody who's like, oh, you collect toys, I was like, hold on, I do collect toys, but they're not toys. Like if I were to say like, I would put like McFarlane closer to the toy category. And
sure.
Like NECA's clearly in the collector category.
Just real quick, can you hear a lot of purring?
Just from you, baby. What's up?
Oh, okay, great. Because he'll behave if he's just sitting on my shoulder here.
Oh, he's
okay. Oh my God! Yeah, baby.
It's so fluffy.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah. This is going to be great.
One of the things we are going to test. So a lot of people were concerned about the scaling, and actually, if you could get turtles into the van. So we're actually going to test that out a little bit because I got my cartoon blind guys here. So we're going to put Ninja Turtles in here and see how the scaling is.
Fantastic.
And I have not mentioned the price of this because my wife doesn't know how much I spent on this. So we're going to keep that to ourselves. Just between us and the internet.
Just between us and the internet, and hopefully she's not a watcher, so she doesn't look it up.
Let's not watch our show.
She's not. No. You would think that you would be her demographic.
Fat and nerdy. Like, she only married me, but she's like, I see that. Very well packaged. I will say that.
So what we've got here right now is the unboxing of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles NECA Turtle van.
Look at that box art.
Wow. That's a pretty package.
So obviously you got an image from, inspired by the cartoon. And then we have real life images here.
Very cool.
And these are pretty much similar to the promo images that they put out. Turtle there.
Oh, I love the mouth in the front. I always have.
Yeah, dude. Like, okay. So if for some random happenstance I become a crazy bajillionaire, I'm getting my first two vehicles I'm buying, the 66 Batman, and I'm getting one of these. Like, I don't care. Like, there's no cost.
Gosh, I never thought about that too. If I had that kind of money, getting a turtle van, yeah.
I've seen them out there. Like, even if you get a van, you can get them, just have them put the skin on it. Pretty sweet.
Yeah. Very nice.
Make sure I open this right way. So it's pretty funny. So, like, I think you saw, like, we're in a couple turtle groups on Facebook, and like they're starting to pour in, and everybody's like, it's like an early Christmas.
Yeah. But he's having a heart attack and loving it.
But here's the nice thing, like, about this, like, I'm not selling it, but if I would, like, you could easily flip this for at least double, like, without dropping it.
Oh, I know. Oh, I saw something that gave me some hope at Comic-Con, which was I saw the Masters of the Universe Classics, Point Dread and Castle Grayskull, which I have the Castle Grayskull, but for still the price was, outrageous, but way better than aftermarket. Oh, yeah. So keep that in mind, folks. Conventions might be the right way to go when you're looking for stuff like this.
But also the bad, because this was NECA. It was one of the few crowdfunded things they did. My only issue is when it comes to crowdfunding, because the only thing I kind of wanted, is it the Razor's Crest for Mandalorian?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was what, 200, 300? Like when it was originally went through HasLab, but then you see it at a con, it's all for $900. Like,
yeah, that's true.
So if you're if you're a reseller, I get it. You got to make your money, but you're selling to fans. Like, don't screw the fans.
Please. He says it nicely. Please.
In case I happen to be that.
Detroit Rock City, give me back my fucking drumsticks. Please. Lots of packaging here, folks. Oh, wow. Look at that. Ain't she a beaut?
Holy shit. It's so big. This is like, honestly, like even just like the measure, like because they had the measure, like it does not do justice how big this damn thing is. And Adam,
Could-
you and I have been in production before, so you know a thing or two about quality control. So we're gonna do a quick quality control.
All
I've had
right.
a couple issues with paint, but I mean, I don't want to tear the thing apart because I immediately love it. But like overall, like pretty solid quality control. I have a piece here. I don't know where that goes yet, but we'll find out.
Now, is there stickers, decals that you have to put on?
I really hope not because I loved putting models together as a kid, but I hated doing the decals.
Well, okay, not decals, but is it maybe just regular stickers?
I'm not sure. We'll have
Uh,
to.
okay, I hated model decals too. Oh my god,
I'll paint. I'd rather try and paint the things on than try and do the water decal.
water decals are a pain in the ass. Gosh, you could just see it how big that damn thing is.
It's a monster.
Put a turtle on the roof. Oh man, oh man.
So I'm gonna trying to get the accessories packaging for you.
Holy shit.
Sorry. So, all right. So these are some of the accessories. So we do have our guns, our blaster guns that go up top here, and then we do have. I know they had a couple of different uh, panels that you can do on the inside. Like you got kind of like a bomb layout, and then this is the seat for the side door that I think. Uh, I mean, I'm gonna put Mikey in there just because that's how it goes. And then you have a top turret cannon here. It looks. Oh no, this is part of the seat cannon. So, alrighty.
Very cool. I can't wait to see this thing come together. Have you, while you're taking that stuff apart, have you watched any new trailers, like such as Ghostbusters or Madam Web?
I saw the Ghostbusters one. I actually pretty stoked about that. That looks pretty good. The Madam one, Adam. If it's Marvel right now, I got next to no interest.
It's Sony Marvel, though. It's not Disney Marvel.
I know, but it's still like put a chicken and make it lame and gay. Like that's kind of the theme for Marvel and everything coming out of Disney right now. That's immediately what I think of. And as soon as like that came out, everybody just went, put a chicken and make it lame and gay, and that's kind of
Lame and gay sounded
yeah.
just like just some 90s talk right there.
Yeah. So, but let's real quick, let's go and open up the doors and everything here. So, oh, that's now I know what this is. This is one of the beers.
What is it?
It's one of the mirror panels. So,
Oh, okay.
doors that open.
Nice. Look at that. You could fit a turtle in there.
Well, that was the thing. People are like, it looks too small, so we're gonna test it, but we're gonna. So this is one of the side doors, and then this is where you can mount the cannon, the seat in the cannon.
Wicked. Bossa Nova?
That's a Nova, so that hopefully you can see a little bit in there. That's the driver's side. Yeah, so this actually, and this side one, I'll do that again. This one pops up, and then this should flip down. And then that's where you can kind of put, because I know there's two different things there for which, how you want to make it like more ready for battle or not. So, and then this is back door there.
It's amazing how.
No, they freaking did it right on this one. That's for sure.
Now, folks, I will tell you how they don't do it right. Not true, but I got the Dracula backdrop, and all it is a piece of cardboard with a plastic coffin.
Right.
But that's why it's $40.
Right.
So.
This was not.
Right. I had to have the coffin. Nice. Oh, man. I'm having so many childhood flashbacks right now.
I'm having, yes. And then I love the teeth and grill part. That's phenomenal. So.
Splinter taught them to be ninja teens.
The kicker for this whole thing.
Oh, wow. No shit.
Yes.
That's
so cool.
That is awesome.
Oh, and
man.
I forgot.
Oh, it opens like it did in the show.
Yes.
I had the toy as a kid. It opened like a lid.
Yeah, it was just a.
Yep.
And,
it was a lid on a hinge.
Credit to NECA for actually putting the batteries in it and not having to take the thing apart and then put batteries in. So good on you, NECA.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
For throwing in a couple $1 batteries for the not cheap toy.
A toy that no child would ever be allowed to play with.
So I've got. I am at the ripe old age of 42. I do have grandkids, and like if they came over, like, can I play with toys? Fantastic. Oh, no, kids. This is a no.
Yeah, no, I get you a Tonka truck.
Yes. Yeah, let's go to the toy store. Yeah.
Remember the old metal Tonka trucks?
Remember the old metal Transformers?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And Voltron.
Yeah, the only the only downside to the metal ones is when my brother got mad at me and threw Starscream at me, and then I screamed because it hurt really bad. Or vice versa. I don't remember. Don't let truth get in the way of a good story, right?
Nope.
Is that Twain that I just quoted out of my ass?
Oh, every time I think, a buddy of mine told me something about that Louis C.K. said about Mark Twain, and I don't know if you know the actual bit of what I'm saying, but he's got all these inspirational quotes, and then he's like, yeah, but he also had a character named, something Jim. And
we're Jim.
Yeah, and that's just the irony makes me laugh. Irony has always made me laugh.
So these are the big blaster cannons, and these I believe fully they click. So okay, so they kind of ratchet. So, but they also, which is nice because they ratchet, but they can ratchet so that they're in the same position instead of just kind of being all floppy.
That's awesome, dude.
It's pretty neat. So, I think it's cool. Like if they'd have had these top lights light up, that'd been cool as well. But because they got these lights, these ones don't light up, just the headlights and the tail light, which is still fantastic.
Look out! That thing is wicked.
Okay, so that's what you got here. So you got. So you can do just one panel for the side door to when it opens up, or you can make it into functional and actually put someone in there. So this is if you just want to pop this guy in. This if you want to put an actual turtle in. So,
Oh, okay. Very cool. So like one's kind of like a piece for
yeah, if you just
just
want to look in place and just have it there.
interesting. Oh, they went for that. I dig it.
All right. So these three parts are all together. So try and put this together. Checking the box for reference.
Imagine how cool it would be to live in a world where mutant turtles were driving around in an assault van. Yeah. And this shit was just on the news, you know. You're at work at the water cooler, all pissed off about like the Democrats and the Republicans. Then all of a sudden, like you're like, and then I don't know what to make of these Ninja Turtles.
Hey Tony, you hear about them Ninja Turtles?
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Be like, I don't know. They pay taxes.
Probably funded by the government.
Probably getting tax breaks or something. All right, I'm gonna try and assemble this without. I hear things cracking.
They're living in the sewer, and we pay tax dollars on the sewer, and they're living down there rent free. Yeah, okay, that was my last tax joke.
Yeah, that's as far as we're going with that. That bit's dead.
Yep, killed it.
Oh no, I like that.
The light.
Oh thank God.
Oh, you thought you broke it?
I was because it kept like cracking. I was like, please don't die. So all right, so this is what the door gunner looks like fully assembled.
Nice.
This is if you just want to put the panel in place. This is what it looks like when it's all done. So that would be the right hand door. And so I'm gonna try and get this assembled real quick.
Mm. So, how's it feel to have this, like, be putting this together and everything after all this time?
Pretty stoked. Pretty psyched
Yeah.
out of my mind, actually.
Do you have a shredder?
No, not a NECA one, not the Toon line. I just got a Funko one.
Funko Pop?
Yeah, it's a big, but it's a big one. It's like a 10-inch one. Yeah, that's on the to-do list. I got my Krang one, the big Krang and the robot.
Okay, very cool. Hey, did you happen to see the Masters of the Universe Ninja Turtles Ram Man?
I don't think so. Which mashup was that one?
Well, he's actually mashed up with a ram.
Okay.
You know how, like in the cartoon, like whatever human, the last animal you were in contact with, or whatever, I don't know, whatever. But he's a ram now.
Cool.
His name's a Ram Man.
Well, I guess that takes the kind of fun out of that, I guess. All right, so I got the gunner thing sort of assembled. I apologize, guys. My light died on me, but that's what Mikey looks like.
Oh,
So I'd have to make it a little bit prettier and get the strap and all that, but that's just kind of roughly how it looks.
how heavy is it?
About almost like 10 pounds, I'd say.
Okay.
Got some heft to her. That. I know they do have this panel here that can go on the inside as well. It's pretty neat. I think that goes like in the kind of rear compartment. Yeah, I'm pretty happy I kind of waited to build a dial because I probably wouldn't have built it to proper scale. This thing freaking
Massive.
so I think it's one of these panels inside here that you can replace. I might be wrong about that. I'm not in the mood to do all that right now.
He's not in the mood. He must light. I'd have to light candles myself, so don't worry.
Yeah, exactly. And then looks like another panel. So
Very sharp. Very cool.
all right. You want to see some turtles in this thing?
Let's see some turtles in this thing.
All right, let's do the test. See if I can get Donnie here in a good driving position.
You know what would be cool? Phone cases that look like the turtle communicators.
Dude, because I thought about that. I'm like, I can probably just make one and print one, but it's on my list for sure. So it's like,
wow, dude,
that's plenty of room. Like that's perfect to scale.
It is. It really is. Like he's in it. He's yeah.
And he's in a driving position. Let's make sure we can get the door closed here. But I think people's concerns about not being able to get because I remember people like doing measurements of figures and doing like trying to be like, yeah, they're probably gonna be like jammed together, like uncomfortably jammed together. But
Not in this turtle van.
not this. That is not an issue. So now I got him in, door closed, no issue. Now let's get someone else here. Let's put Raph here in. Oh, and then this.
So
Or yeah, take Mikey off here.
Raph was always my favorite turtle growing up. Which one was yours?
Mikey. That's one of the reasons my favorite colors is orange.
Huh?
And my wife asked me that. I'm like, what's my favorite color? She's like, orange. She's like, I mean, it's nothing. I was like, Michelangelo's orange.
Michelangelo's favorite. Michelangelo, who will become the last Ronin.
So, and dude, even the stuff that IDW's been doing with the after the Ronin stuff, like that's all pretty solid stuff too. Alrighty, so real quick, so we got two in the front. Glare, dude, that's perfect. That's perfect scaling. Comfortably sitting in there, not jammed in. You can't ask for better than that.
No, you cannot.
And make sure that the door closes comfortably. There you go. No, yeah, they're not jammed in there. They are in there absolutely perfectly, and you can't ask for much better than that.
That looks so cool.
It's
That looks so cool. I mean,
freaking fantastic.
they don't look too small. They don't look like they're overly. If they look like they jumped off the. Yes.
It was off my television and
Yeah. Straight off the animation cell.
yeah, I'm gonna make sure you can get it configured. That's a nice thing. The one thing about NECA, you can complain about NECA on certain things, but their accessories, and I'll say their scaling for this has been it's been so you can and one of the reasons this thing took so long to come out was because they went back to the drawing board and said, "Hey, the fans are upset about this. Let's see if," because they could have said, "Hey, fans, you're wrong." Blah blah blah. They said, "No, you're right. We'll fix it." The big thing was I believe it was the hump was the issue. They fixed the hump. Went back to the drawing board. Went back to, and Adam, how hard injection molding is. Like that, dude, getting the dyes and everything those
Oh
made up
my
properly.
gosh.
It's so hard. It's so expensive and time consuming for them to go back and say, "No, we're going to do it right." It actually says a lot about NECA and what NECA thinks of their fans and their products. So
It's a complete engineering change request um, for the final product. You're starting out with one product, you get feedback, and then you want to make a change. You're making a totally different product at the end of the day.
yeah, and if you have not done injection molding or see how it's done, the fact it's it's so hard. Like people just take plastic stuff for granted, not realizing like how hard it is to make a mold. It's so freaking hard.
Oh yeah. Oh,
It's so much engineering and all that. Like it's the fact that they went back and said no. Like I give NECA tons of credit for it. NECA, well done, guys, well done. So another cheer for NECA. So.
give you one more thing to cheer about too. One of the things, especially that I've learned just in my little YouTube journey, like going down the rabbit hole, like how toy lines come to be and things like that. We get a lot of like reuse because you got to pay for that tool that was bought for that figure. What are you going to read? What are you going to retool with this turtle van? You know what I'm saying? It's not like you could reuse it.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Unless, yeah. So
Yeah, like you said, there's no like going back to McFarlane, you can tell, hey McFarlane, oh, this was Superman's legs on something, or there's Batman. How many Batman molds do you get to reuse? That's part of business, and that's why McFarlane's so successful because I'm sure he
right.
knows how to reuse what he can reuse. And I think, Boomer, you okay? Boomer's very upset because he can't come over here because he's blocked by so many boxes. Uh, but yeah, just like even this stuff, like I gotta use my little light here because I died. But
Unreal. How well that looks.
yeah.
How good that looks.
So that'll be one of the next things. There is yeah, we're gonna have to go build the damn dio. So maybe we'll do a video about that. So this is
Here it is
here it
in
is,
the plastic flesh.
the long-awaited, and just yeah.
Congratulations, Nick.
Yeah, so this is far and away my biggest toy purchase, and I'm happy. I'm a happy camper. So I'm not just saying that because there's been plenty of times when you spend a bunch of money on something, you're like, well, that was worth
it. Right.
Yeah, I am a very very happy camper. Very happy with my purchase here. So, Adam, since we're on, do you want to talk about what happened at Motor City Comic Con since we didn't get to do our show Thursday?
Yeah.
There.
Let's
So,
do it.
yeah, because you were there Friday. So this past weekend was Motor City Comic Con in Novi, and I thought it was a great show. It's the first time working a show, and you know we were there help supporting our friends from Night of Chihuahuas. You were there Friday. I was there Saturday and Sunday, and it was totally a bucket list thing for me to like work a con and actually just kind of be at a con like
Right.
the whole time. And like David, who's a creator in Night Chihuahuas, came up all the way up from Arizona, and I'll tell you, I was a little bit freaked out because they came up basically because of us, because of
Yeah.
our relationship, and I was just like, I really hope you guys don't lose your ass on this. I want to, I told David, I was like, I want to sell I want to send you home with as few comics as possible. But by the end of it, he seemed pretty happy. Like I know you were there Friday, and it was kind of
It
pretty
was very
dead.
slow, very dead.
Yeah, but everybody knows Saturday's the big day. Sunday, I don't think I've even been to at least a big con on Sunday, so I wasn't entirely sure what to expect. I expected a pretty good crowd, but it was pretty comparable to Saturday. So
Oh, okay, good.
yeah,
Very good.
there was plenty of traffic. And then after, I think we kind of packed up about 3 because David had to catch his flight. But yeah, still a lot of foot traffic. And I had a lot of fun. It was great. It was, like I said, it was kind of nice to actually just kind of work a con instead of just walking around. Because after a while, like there's only so many cons you can kind of walk around and see what there is, and it was just kind of nice to kind of be on the other side for me anyway.
Yeah, same thing. I really couldn't say it better myself. In fact, I hate to point this thing out because it seems so small and minuscule, but it was like really, I don't know. It felt like big shot status when you got into like that little green room area and
Oh,
all the free foods and the
yeah,
refreshments and stuff.
it was funny. So I was talking to the vendor next to us, and she was a artist, but she did more like D&D art, fantasy art. And she's like, not all the cons do this. Like, this is one of the few cons that kind of does. Like, hey, vendors, like
Yeah,
menu, here's some food, here's some snacks, energy drinks, coffee, like what you guys need. As long as it's there, you guys can have at it. So, and
I was
yeah,
surprised about the energy drinks.
oh, that dude, I was like, F yeah, like, especially, like, after that, after lunch and everybody kinda gets that 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock lull, you're like, everybody needs at least some kind of pick me up, but, yeah, she kinda went out of her way to say not too many cons do this, and then, the next big con that they're going to, the Nitro Hours, they're going to LA, and they're like, LA's not gonna give us anything."
Oh God.
So,
Well, good. I'm glad that the Motor City Comic Con was able to roll out the red carpet in that respect.
yeah, well, it's always okay, so anybody watching who is not from Michigan or not from Detroit, Detroit's kind of got a chip on its shoulder as far as like, not getting a quote unquote enough respect for things. And especially from me, having only gone to the Motor City Comic Con's the biggest Comic Con I've ever been to. I don't know what. All right, Boomer's back out. Fantastic. Thanks, Boom.
All right.
So the Motor City Comic Con's like the biggest con that I had been to. And it was just kind of be like, hey, how does this compare to other cons? And David said, this is, it's it's not San Diego, it's not LA,
Of
it's not New
course.
York. And
Yeah.
they're like, of course, but it's just as far as the, how big it is. They said it's
Yeah,
it's
he
not
was
top
pretty
tier, but it's
impressed.
next tier. Yeah, he seemed to be pretty impressed. And then once sales picked up on Saturday, like there was kind of like a big like, okay, like we're making money. Okay, good. So it
Yeah.
was but yeah,
And I'm very glad that they did.
yeah, no, it was like I said, thanks those guys for coming out. I had a blast. Got to so the vendors on our right, she was the artist, and then our artist on our left because we are on Artist Alley. Uh, on the left side there, uh, you ended up going to school with a friend of hers, and it was
Yeah.
like totally like a random like, and because she's like, you know this town? I was like, well, I live up by there. Yeah, of course I know that. She's like, oh, like most people don't know, and it was funny. And the husband, he was like, "Oh, I'm from where I live now," and he's like, "Oh, I don't like it." I was like, "Well, I don't like where you live now." So you know how it is. Like, well, you know how it is when like anytime like a town or a place leaves a bad memory, a bad taste in your mouth, like f that place. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, I was like, you don't want to move back to where I live. I don't want to move back to where you're living. So let's just, and it was fun, but they were great. I had a lot of fun. And, so like the biggest like celebrity moment, that we had was, uh, geez, I can't remember, but it's the headmaster from Karate Kid and Cobra Kai.
Oh wow.
He just walked by and he was talking to, the booth on our left, and she was being totally cool, like, and I'm like, and me and David are like, "Don't take pictures, Nick. Don't take pictures." David were like, "Be cool. Don't freak out." And she was playing it totally cool. Like I figure, like, well, this probably happens on occasion, this stuff happens, no big deal. And so, like, we're just gonna play it cool. We're not gonna take pictures because he probably gets pictures jammed in his face the whole time. We're gonna be cool. And then, he kind of concluded business with her, and then he walked by, and I said, "Hey, how you doing?" He's like, "Oh, just very, very nice." I think is it Martin Cove is his name, uh, but sometimes, like when you see people, even because I've done a couple of celebrity photo ops, and like you see him in person, you're like, yeah, that kind of looks like the person. But like this dude looked like he had just come out of makeup for the show. Like there was no mistaking who this guy was. Like you're like, as soon as you looked at him, you're like, oh, it's like, do you know who you are? It's kind of one of
Right,
those.
right. Do you know who you
So
are? Like
yeah,
that.
so it was super cool. And then he walked by our booth, and then she comes over and she's like, "Why didn't you take my picture? I was giving you the picture sign. I was giving you the take a picture of us sign." And I'm like, I thought I thought it was like uncouth, like
Mm.
it was funny. So she gave me crap the rest of the week for not taking their picture, but I was like, I blame you. You were being super cool about it, so I decided to try and be super cool too.
What a good time.
It was a really good time, and like I said, David seemed very happy with how things went, so I'm happy that those guys are happy,
And
and
what a cool guy he was.
yeah, and that was sometimes like we've had him on the show here, and sometimes it's one of those you don't know if someone's just being polite or professional, and exactly how he is on camera is exactly how he was in real life, and
Yeah.
super cool, super down to earth dude, like. We went and if we weren't talking about comic book stuff, we were talking about sports. We were just like we were talking about like fantasy football stuff, and we went and had dinner. We were watching some of the games, and then when once we got back to the Airbnb, we're we immediately just went to our rooms, changed into PJs, and like it's like 9 o'clock. We're like
Right.
we're like yeah, we're shutting her down. He's like yeah, we're shut. He's like same. So and we just watch like football the rest of the night, and it's like dude, like fantastic weekend. So.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah, because I know you unfortunately were supposed to be there, not to bring up bad stuff, but you were supposed to be there all weekend, but you ended up getting a flat tire, and it was just like, shit, one of those.
Yeah. It,
Unfortunately, it is what it is situation. So
yeah, it was unfortunate, but I mean, I'm thank you for pulling through for the team. So,
yeah. But yeah, I would definitely chalk it up to being. I think it was a win. Everybody was happy, and we tried to sell as many books as possible. So and we, I think we, I think they picked up a lot of it. So I'm very happy for those guys, and yeah, it's just uh, it's just interesting to see completely someone else's completely different perspective because they're Southwest like West Coast guys, and
yeah,
coming up to the Midwest, it was just like, yeah, dude, this is a good con. So it was like fantastic. So
had a great time.
yeah, uh, yeah, I'm not sure if it's going to be a yearly thing, but just for them to do that once, I thought it was pretty fantastic, and I'm happy. Once again, happy that they're happy. Um, all right, and we got anything else?
No, I mean, I think the big thing was the two recent comic book movie trailers, which was what, uh, of course,
Ghost,
what's bigger than that? What's bigger than that turtle van right there? No pun
not
intended.
much. I might have to try this to work now.
Yeah, no kidding. But yeah, Ghostbusters. We talked a little bit about that, which you seem to be pretty excited about that. So,
It's
um,
yeah, I like the trailer. It seems like a much more back to not exactly grassroots, but it is back in New York. I think it looks like they're trying to go back to the fire station and that whole deal. So,
Yeah.
and just from a trailer, it looks like you got the original guys back in it for how long? Doesn't matter, but there's a way to properly hand things off. Like if there's no problem with handing off to the next generation, quote unquote. And this is probably what that movie's more going to be instead of Afterlife. Uh, yeah, and it kind of seems like that's kind of what they're setting up. But there's a proper way to do it, and it seems like this is a proper. At least it seems like it's going to be a proper attempt to actually kind of hand it off to the next generation. Because golly, did Bill Murray not look fantastic?
I know. He did. He did.
It was one of those like, oh, it's Bill Murray. Oh, Bill Murray, fancy. Bill Murray, you're a zombie. So the other one that you mentioned was Madam Web. What did you think of that one? Because I know I was watching one of the streams and they were kind of roasting it, and I'm just sometimes I can go into a trailer and be like, yeah, like with open eyes, but like honestly, I don't know nothing about Madam Web. I don't know much about what they're trying to get into. So
I remember Madam Web from the cartoon. She was an old lady. At least I thought she was. And
yeah, that was the big thing. Her be like, she's supposed to be an old lady. So
and what a weird character to give a movie to. But we're doing this. We're doing it. Okay. But I don't know. I don't really get it. And it looks like it's like, is that supposed to be Miles Morales Spider-Man? I don't know. I don't know. Is this supposed to be some more multiverse shit?
Dude, I really hope not. It's one of those like, guys, this is not working. Marvel, I know this is Sony Marvel, but every Marvel, get your head out of your ass because what you're doing right now is not working. And
Yeah.
that's the thing people don't realize. Like, hey, Sony Marvel is technically not MCU, but still technically Marvel. But also like the ramifications are still coming down from all of Marvel, and just from the last, the Marvels. No one's interested in what Marvel's putting out right now.
Problem is they've got a Spider-Man that's like netted in the MCU,
Right.
even though at the end of No Way Home they kind of unhinged him from it with the new classic suit. But people have a hard time distinguishing that universe from the MCU, so I think that's going to hurt it. Then the other thing, this is what, except for the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, which are technically Disney Marvel movies, however you want to look at it.
Right.
It just seems like they always make these Sony Marvel movies like they were made in 2006.
Yeah. I don't know if it's a budget issue or if it's just a production issue, but it looks dated already.
Yeah, it does. And Venom was dated to me too.
Yes.
It's like
that was always the biggest thing about the Venom movies. Like, yeah, fine, but it looks like it came out damn near 20 years ago. So
right.
Like 2005, 2006, production value. So that's never a good starting point.
It looks like it, and the story tells like it too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. This might just be another Punisher Warzone.
Oh boy, was that Thomas Shane or was that?
Oh, that wasn't the Thomas. No, that was the Ray Stevenson one. I would never rip the Thomas Jane one. I have a lot of respect for that one. But again, that was made in 2004, or it came out in 2004.
Right.
That's
all right. So just to recap, the Turtle van is out, and it's pretty fantastic. So I do have some Turtle guys in there. He wrapped it over, but if you had any issues with what the scaling would be, there is no issue. They fit in there perfectly. They look right. They look like they fit in the van correctly. And
nice.
So this is fantastic. And if you were one of the few who, I don't know how many, talking out of my ass, that did pre-order this thing. I'm gonna guess you're gonna be pretty happy. If you do have some negative points with the van, please let me know because I haven't found any yet. Like besides like a quality control issue with like a little bit of paint, but everything else on this thing is fantastic. So you got your guns up here. Everything opens. I can put Mikey back in the seat here. Got Mikey
A
with
gunner
first.
seat.
He's already got a slice of pizza, so it's fine.
I
I
could
don't
eat
have
pizza every day of the week.
I don't have him buckled in there quite right yet, but that's yeah, like I said, Raph's yelling at Donnie, obviously. But yeah, no, this thing's is it worth the steep price tag? Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna say yes. You know, until the Cobra Hiss hasn't come out yet. I'm gonna be pretty interested the reviews on that when it came out because that was one of the ones I was like I'm happy I didn't go down the GI Joe route because I started to go down that rabbit hole and I'm just like I can't do it. And so I know the HasLab price was more expensive than this, and I know it hit all its stretch goals. So I'm wondering, you know, with all the little extras that they're going to throw in there. But right now, as this is my biggest toy purchase I've made, and I'm pretty happy with it. So
It's a work of art, man.
it's fantastic, and like I said, give a lot of credit to NECA for going back to the drawing board after the fans. You know, it wasn't that the fans were unhappy; they said, "Hey, you know, this part isn't right." And I believe the biggest issue was the hump here because I think it was a little bit smoother. I think at least in the first production shots, and then everybody, you know, a lot of people said, "Hey, that's not right," and NECA said, "All right, we'll fix it." But so we'll see. I'm interested what some of the other reviewers are going to say about it, but I think it's fantastic. I think the just everything from the paint color, you know, everything's just right. Maybe it not be exact because there's always some type of translation issue sometimes from what colors were in the cartoon, what to how it's going to look in real life, and those are all
Mhm.
things you really got to take into account. So you know, there might be a little, hey, the shade of green might be a touch off, but I think just it's all very pleasing to the eye.
Couldn't have said it better myself. The thing is badass.
Hey, you're gonna have to come up here to check it out.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
But coming up here, so Adam, the end of the year is quickly approaching.
Yes, it
So
is.
we're gonna start doing some best of shows, best of 2023. And one of the ones that we have to do is our favorite figures of the year. And so we'll have that coming up. Probably we'll do it after Thanksgiving, maybe just before Christmas. But tell us what you guys think. Some of your favorite toys, just favorite nerdy stuff from 2023. So that'll probably be the focus of the probably the rest of the year stuff. So
Excellent. Then I'll have to put my thinking cap on about what's going to be my favorite figure. You don't have to own it for it to be your favorite one, right?
nope, nope.
All
Just
right.
whatever figure or figures or even figure sets. If because that'll be there's a figure set I just could not get a hold of this year, and I think it's one of the best. But also, uh, yeah, because I was thinking about this for like a concept for like want to show like perfect movies, not favorite movies, what you would consider a perfect movie, and maybe we'll get some other movie aficionados on and see if we can hash out what we think are some of the perfect movies. So,
Okay.
all right, so and that's kind of what we're doing. We're not going to do we can do our favorite toys, but also you can do what we think are just the best toys. So
I think we should maybe reamp our Christmas list this year. find something interesting to say about Christmas movies. I think this year I'm going to watch You're a Mean One or The Mean One.
Which one? I haven't seen that one because I know there's.
It's a horror. It's a horror movie where the Grinch was a real thing, and they go to hunt him.
Nice.
Yeah,
I say they did like they did with Winnie the Pooh. Did the Grinch go into public domain?
yeah.
Oh,
The movie came out last year. It was an
I didn't
indie
hear about
movie.
it. Damn it.
Yeah. Yep. You know, you probably didn't hear about it because Violent Night did so well.
Well, yeah, Violent Night. Well, there was what was that other Santa movie that you liked more than I did? With like
Isn't that
the robot Santa?
Oh God, I totally forgot about that. I don't even remember what the name of that movie is.
Yeah, but
what the hell was the name of that movie?
Dude, that's why I'm asking you. I can't remember, but
it was the Terminator, but Santa Claus instead. Right. Damn it! Now I want to watch it.
Right. So you have fun with that. I was okay with it, but
it was so bad. It was great. That's the only thing for me.
My look. I know indie. Like when it comes to indie, like dialogue and writing aren't. But you know, sometimes you got to rein in your actors a little bit. Be like, hey guys, there's more words than the F word. Like
that's right. They use the
creative.
Yeah.
So that was my biggest critique, but it was just because after a while, it's like there's other words, guys. Like here's a thesaurus. Even if you want to swear, just get more creative with your swearing. It's okay. I don't mind, but just stop using the same effing word.
Same effing word every time.
So, all right, Adam, let's wrap it up. So if you want to see what we're talking about on our social medias, we are on Instagram and Facebook at The Escape with Nick and Adam. If you have not yet subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do so. It definitely helps a lot. We are on all the major podcast platforms, even though I think I've uploaded recently, but this one's going up for sure. So go check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Audible, and Google Podcasts. Anything else, my friend?
Good night, Planet Houston. And remember, cowabunga, dude!
Good night, America!